Sometimes we want to leave notes in the code that we write. These can be really helpful because usually code is written and maintained by multiple people. Or in the future, it can also help you remember the ideas you had when you wrote the code. In programming, these notes are called comments. Here I have the start of a program that could help the user plan their vacation. It asks where they want to go and how many days they're going to spend, and then it displays it back to them. So let's talk about how comments could help me in a program like this. One way I might use them is to document certain sections of the code so that in the future I remember why they're there. For example, I might type before this, display a greeting message, and here I might type gather user input, and for this I could say display the itinerary. In this example, these lines of code are pretty simple, so the comments here might not be essential, but they are really important if you're ever doing something that's different or non-standard in your program. For example, maybe I want to make a note here that says that days should never be negative. Or later I might add something that says the number of nights should always be one less than the number of days or something like that. A good guideline is that your comments should explain why you made a decision rather than explaining what the code does. We don't need to just restate the code because people can read it. And also, if the code changes in the future, it's possible that the comment could get out of sync. So I don't want to write code like this, print destination, and then put a comment right before it that says prints the destination. That's not really helpful, and it could actually lead to problems down the line. Another common use of comments is to add a file header at the top. So I'm going to go to the very beginning of the program, and in Python, you can make a multi-line comment string by starting with a triple quote like this. And so then up here, I might type, what is this program? This is a travel planner. And who is the author? Well, that's me, Brother Burton. And then I might give a description here, like helps the user plan a vacation by computing the costs associated with their travel. Now, notice if the line gets too long, you can just go to the next one and then indent. Starting your programs with a header like this is considered a good practice to follow. Another common use of comments is to explain what we would do next or to help us plan out our program. For example, I might add some comments like the following. Maybe I'll say ask for the budget for the food and lodging. And then I could say calculate the lodging cost, the food cost, and the total price. Whatever I think I'm going to need to do. And then I could say, next, I'll display the results. This way, when I'm ready to go work on the program, I can just go insert the code right next to those comments. One more way that comments are often used is when you're trying to debug or track down a problem in your code. For example, maybe I have a problem with this second input statement that I'm trying to figure out. And I want my code to go straight through it without running the other one. I could temporarily comment out this line of code by doing this. I could put that pound sign there to comment it out. Now, when I run my code, it will skip over that line. And then when I've tracked down the problem, I can uncomment or put it back in like this. And I can do this one line at a time, or if I have a bunch of lines of code that I want to comment out, I can highlight all of them, and then I can push Control// on Windows or Command/ on the Mac, and it will comment out that whole block. And then I can push it again, Command / to bring it back. And that's how you can use comments to help you in your programs.